Have you ever said something super stupid to your kids? I'm going to tell you a story about how I did this recently, but before I do, let's grab our nugget of wisdom today from Proverbs 25:28. It says, "A person without self-control is like a city with broken down walls." And I think this is a really interesting metaphor because it's easy to see how a city without walls would be vulnerable. What can get into the city? What can get out? And that's a lot like our emotional boundaries. So this past summer, my husband and I had two of the hardest months of our foster parenting journey. We're talking about the kind of summer where the kid doesn't sleep, so you don't sleep, the meltdowns where you keep them safe, but you're walking away with bruises, and the kind of days where you're doing so much emotional regulation for everyone else around you that you forget to regulate yourself. And then all of your stress just builds up till you blow up. And this isn't unique to foster parents. Mamas, maybe you have a highly sensitive kid or a special needs kid, or maybe your parents that just have 4 kids ages 5 and under. Whatever the reason is, when we have these moments where it feels like our kids' behaviors, emotions are big and frequent, it can feel like it's taking over our lives. And so picture this. We're in the middle of what feels like the 973rd meltdown battle of the summer, and we've been at it for hours, and I've remained calm until all of a sudden I am not. And I start to feel my emotions of overwhelm and frustration taking over. So I walk out of the room to my husband, and under my breath, I say to him, "I cannot wait for her to go back to school." And I thought that was the end of it until a few weeks later when my little comes to me and she says, "Mommy, I heard what you said to Daddy." And so in that moment, I did what any reasonable parent would do, and I denied it. No, I'm just kidding. Of course I didn't do that. I had to own it. The walls of my city, the boundaries around my emotions had broken down, and she had gotten hurt. And so I told her, "Hey, Mama's so sorry. I was feeling really overwhelmed, and I needed space. And in the midst of that, I said something really unkind, and that is not okay. Would you please forgive me?" And thankfully, she was gracious, and we hugged it out, and we moved on. But that just leads me to a couple questions for you today. Do you have any emotions that have been running the show in your life? Are there any areas that you need to be able to build some self-control? Or maybe you're like me, and are there any situations recently where you totally messed it up and it's time to go back and rebuild and apologize?